How to make Italian wedding soup. Pour 8 cups of beef broth into a large pot. Add about 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic. I'm using squeezed garlic, but you can use fresh if you like. Next, remove the stem from about 1 pound or 1 small head of escarole and tear it apart like this, how it's individual leaves like a salad. Tear it up into bite-sized pieces with your hands. Roughly this size is good. And add it to your broth. I forgot to mention, don't forget to wash and rinse off each individual leaf before you start tearing it apart and putting it in your soup. Also, sorry for the background noise, they're doing stuff outside. Give your soup a good stir. And let this come to a boil. While our soup is boiling away, we're going to start on our Italian meatballs. In a medium-sized bowl, you want to put about a pound of ground beef, salt and pepper to taste, onion powder and garlic powder to taste, and some red pepper flakes to taste. You can also add like Italian seasoning or parsley or oregano and stuff like that if you want. Personally, we don't really like that kind of stuff, but I mean, of course, if you want Italian meatballs, you should add Italian seasoning. Now next up, I already have onions that I pre-cooked yesterday because I needed onions for something else, so I just made extra. But making these is easy. You just have to mince up 1 large onion and cook it until soft and lightly browned with 1.5 teaspoons of oil and 1.5 teaspoons of butter. Add that to your meatballs. And lastly for now, add 1 egg. Mix this all up with your hands until it's well combined. Once you've got everything mixed well together, it's time to start making your little meatballs. Now you don't have to use a melon baller if you don't want to. You can use like a teaspoon or a tablespoon if you'd like, but if you're going to use anything other than a melon baller, you're probably going to have to re-roll them with your hands after. But basically, start taking little scoops. And when your soup's boiling, start dropping them in. Continue until all your meat is done. Okay, honestly, I'm going to ditch the melon baller and just do it by hand. It'll probably be a lot less time consuming and faster. Doing these by hand is way easier than using anything else. I definitely recommend just using your hands. Second of all, if you can't tell, I did make these a little bit bigger than what I said earlier. I made them a little bit more bite size. But once you got all your meatballs in here, gently and carefully stir your soup so all of your meatballs are submerged so they can slowly start to cook. And also so you don't break any of them. Remember, just do it gently. As gently as possible anyway. Bring your soup back up to a boil. When your soup starts to boil again, turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. About 10 minutes before your soup is done, you want to add about 1 cup of ditalini or small pasta to your soup. Give it a good stir and wait just 10 minutes for your pasta to cook. Give it a good stir, again, gently, so you're not destroying your meatballs. Let your pasta cook for about 10 minutes or until it's al dente. Now check to see if your pasta and your meatballs are al dente and no longer pink in the center. And once that is, all checked off, your soup is ready to eat. Serve your soup with nice, crusty Italian bread and enjoy.